Good afternoon, everybody, and I'm again having technological issues. If anybody knows how to do a live input in landscape, I would like to learn from you. Anyway, here I am. Good afternoon. How are you all? Thank you so much for joining. Sorry, just adjusting this. Hope you're all very well. Happy Friday to you all. Today I would like to talk a little bit about vision and why that is important for business owners. It's something that's spoken about a lot, actually, having a clear vision, knowing where you're going and being able to take your people with you. And so I wanted to explore a little bit why so many of us really struggle with this. Like, why do we find it so difficult to really set that course? And it really comes down to what do we actually want? What do we want in life, and what do we want in our business? And any self-help, training course, development, any business coach will tell you that in order to get what you want, you have to take action. And lots of us are very busy taking action. And so why doesn't it work? Well, the reason that it doesn't work is, and the reason we don't get to where we want to get to, is that we haven't charted a course. We haven't really decided what we want. And so we're taking lots of action and we're being very, very busy. But because it's not focused in an actual direction, because we're not clear about where we're going, we're just being busy. And I'm certainly guilty of that, just being very, very busy, but not actually being busy with a purpose, like where are we actually going? Thank you for joining. Hi Mark, hi Tracy. Great to have you with us, and Joni as well. Hi. So yeah, I'm talking about being busy and taking action versus actually taking action against a specific goal that you've got. And what happens with individuals then is that we are very busy and we take lots of action, and then we say, why is nothing happening? And then we beat ourselves up that we're not getting anywhere. But the point is that we haven't actually decided where we want to get to. And with companies, it's exactly the same. So if a company isn't clear about where it's going, then what happens is each person in the team will decide where they think it's going and what kind of company you're building. And that can be really destructive in a team environment, because it means that everybody is slightly pulling in a different direction. Companies that don't have a clear vision are often uninspiring and not very great to work for, to be honest. We all know companies, many of us have worked for companies where they lack focus and they lack direction, and companies that restructure often, that's a good sign of a really good way to distract yourself, is to keep restructuring your business because you don't really know where you're going. If you're not attracting the right kind of people to you, or enough people, it might be that your vision isn't clear enough. Or bold enough. People, the bigger and bolder and more ambitious you are with your vision, the more likely you are to attract people that go, oh my God, I really want to be part of that. I really believe in what you're saying. If you haven't got a strong enough and clear enough and bold enough mission, you might also lose the good people in your team, people that want to contribute more, that want more from their work than just going and doing a job and getting paid a salary, that they actually want more in life. So the bigger and bolder your mission can be, the more likely you're to attract and retain those key people that you need in your team. Another problem that I find with lack of vision, particularly with entrepreneurs, is lack of motivation. So if you're not feeling motivated to get out of bed in the morning, if you're struggling to really kind of keep focused and keep yourself on track, it might be that you actually have a lack of a vision. And what that means is you don't really know what you want, you don't really know where you're going. Having a goal in itself isn't actually enough. A lot of people set goals, and again, a lot of business coaches talk about setting goals, but you've got to think beyond that. What does that actually mean? What will happen when you get there? What will you spend the money on once you earn it? What will your life look like? Really get in touch with what it is that you want and why it is that you want it. And then on those grey, miserable, cold October days, it's easier to get out of bed because you know why you're doing what you're doing. If you can't answer that why question, then your goals aren't going to be very motivating and you're going to struggle to keep yourself focused. So let me tell you a little bit about me and my story. So in my 20s, I left university and I joined a large corporate. I joined Xerox. And in my 20s, I was very clear what I was going to do with my life. I was going to become managing director of Xerox. That was what I was going to do. I was hugely ambitious. I loved my job. I was climbing the ladder. And it took me until, I think, around the age of 28 when I started to question that. I started to think, maybe that's not for me. Maybe there's more to life. Maybe I don't actually just want to keep climbing the ladder. Maybe I want to do something different. And then I got stuck. And for the first half of my 30s, I felt hugely frustrated. I felt like I was going through the motions. I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. And I just had this picture of being at a crossroads and not really knowing which way to turn, which way I wanted to go. I felt like I had options, but I just couldn't make a decision. And that was a really, really, really frustrating time for me. And then I almost by accident became a contractor. So rather than being a permanent member of staff, I started working for myself, but still going into an office every day and still doing similar jobs. But now I was working for myself. And I found that worked for me for quite a number of years. I moved from the corporate world into investment banking, still as a contractor, had lots of really exciting and challenging jobs. And for a while that was satisfying for me. And I felt like I don't know if I felt like I had a vision or a purpose, but I felt more satisfied. It suited me better to have that flexibility in my life. But still something was missing, and it was only actually a few years ago, literally 2.5 years ago, that I became really, really clear about what I want to do, and which is to work with entrepreneurs and help them build businesses that work for them without them burning themselves out, and more about that to come. So back to the point about vision, how do you get really clear about what you want? So I like to use a tool that is called Ikigai. It's a Japanese word, and it's really getting to the heart of that vision, that purpose. And it's a really simple tool that I'd just like to talk you through and see what it looks like for you. So if you imagine, it's got 4 circles that all interlink. And the first place that you start with is, what are you good at? So all of us are good at something. All of us have skills, have knowledge, have experience. So what are you good at? Start with that. What are you good at? Because there are many, many things that we can do. So start there. What can you do? What are you good at? Second thing, what do you love? What do you really love to do? If money was no object, if you didn't have to pay the mortgage, if you didn't have to, what do you love to do? What really drives you? What are you passionate about? And so that intersection between those 2 circles, what you're good at and what you love, is your passion. That's what you're passionate about. Now let's think about adding a 3rd circle into the mix, and that is, what do you feel compelled to do in the world? What needs changing? What do you see out there in the world where you go, I really feel like I want to make that change. I want to be that change. The intersection of what you love and what the world really needs from you is what your mission is. What do you feel compelled to do? So that's between what you love and what the world really needs from you. Then let's put the 4th circle in, and that is, what can you get paid for? There are many things that we might be passionate about, but what do people pay for? What could we get paid to do? And if you think then the intersection between what you can get paid for and what the world needs, that's your vocation. That's what people call a vocation. The intersection between what you get paid for and what you're good at, that's your profession. So a lot of people are in a job where they are good at what they do and they get paid for it. But what is missing is the passion, is what do they love and what does the world really need from them and what do they feel compelled to change. And so Ikigai, this Japanese concept, is really saying, if you can map out those 4 circles and then see where the intersection is, that is really your life's purpose. And if you decide that you want to start a business around that, that becomes your company's vision and mission, what you're driving towards. These two words, vision and mission, often get confused and mixed up. I probably mixed them up today when I've been speaking to you. Your vision is where you're going. It's like the goal, it's the end state, where are you trying to get? And the mission is how do you do it? What tools and experience and how do you serve your customer to lead you to that vision? That's what your mission is. So it is really worth taking the time. It might sound like a very simple exercise, but people often stop themselves answering that question of what do I want to do, because they think, oh, I couldn't get a job, or I don't really know how I would do that. But if you sit down and you look at those 4 different circles separately and say, all else being equal, what do I really love to do? What am I really good at? What does the world need from me, and what can I get paid to do? And then find what happens there in the middle. That can really, really help you get clear. It can help you get really focused and motivated and driven. And the really good thing about this is that there's a lot of research that says more and more people want to work for a company that is more than just about making money, particularly young people. They want to work for a company that has a proper vision, that really is going places, that is making a difference in the world. Yes, we're all in business to make money, and that is a core part of being in business. But what else is going on? What's the change we're trying to make in the world? What difference are we making in people's lives? How are we serving our customers? And the more we can get really clear about that, the more we're likely to attract the right kind of people to us in our teams. Now, one word of caution from my own personal experience. Once you figure out what you want, and it depends on your profile, and any of you that haven't already got yourself profiled, I would really, really urge you to do it. It can be completely life-changing. So depending on your profile will depend how kind of naturally driven you are to want to move forward fast. But if you are one of those people that discovers their passion, their mission, then certainly I can speak from my own experience. I just want to move at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I'm constantly frustrated that things aren't moving faster, and I'm always very impatient and wanting to move faster and faster. And that's what brings you on to burnout. I mentioned that word earlier on. Be careful of burnout. I say it to myself regularly. Joni says it to me regularly. Be careful that you don't burn yourself out. If you think back to the real model, resilience is really there at the heart of that, because if you don't look after yourself, then how can you look after your customers, your team, your business partner, your family, anybody? You've got to look after yourself. That's not selfish. That is the only way that you will deliver on the vision and mission of your business, is to look after yourself first. So that you can look after those around you, and so you can look after the broader people that you want to serve. So for me, that's a constant reminder. Yes, I am driven to help entrepreneurs, and actually I want to help them build businesses that work for them without them burning themselves out, and I can't do that unless I'm looking after myself. It's all very well talking about it, but I have to walk the walk as well. So that's one word of caution when you do get in touch with your purpose, with your vision. Make sure that you do it and that you build in a sustainable way that is going to work for you and your team and your life. So that's what I have to say about vision today. Hopefully that's been useful for you and given you some food for thought. We will add we have a vision tool to help you craft a really great vision statement for you and your business. We'll post that in the community later on. Do add your comments below and let us know what your thoughts are. Also, tell us about your vision. Is it really, really clear to you, or is it still a work in progress, as mine has been for quite some time? Tell us about it. We'd love to hear what your vision is for you and your business and what drives you forward. Try out the Ikigai, those 4 interlocking circles. Tell us about that and how you found that. I'm really interested to know what is it about your vision that draws people to you. Have you found that communicating what you really want and what your kind of hopes and dreams are, whether that's brought people into your orbit, maybe as partners or as team members or as suppliers? How does that work then when you share with people? Be brave and share with them what your big vision is, what your big mission is. As I said earlier on, the bigger and bolder your vision is, the more likely you are to attract really interesting people to you. I hope that was useful and helpful. I certainly enjoyed sharing with you my thoughts about vision today. Please post your goals on Monday in the community. Let's continue to hold you accountable. Please let us know if there's anything else that we can do to support you. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Thanks for joining. Bye.